Last time it was an international affair as hopefuls from France and Ireland entered the arena. The Seed Schism looked to be on form, but after a driving error they left the heat open for the taking. And in the final fight of the night, Vertical Spinner Digestive did just that. Welcome back to Robot Rebellion 2024. I'm your host, Jevon Woodrow.
And I am Anderson Hill. And Jevon, an interesting thing about this heat is it's a what's known as a sportsman heat.
Yeah, no spinners here. The Seed here, Boom Zoom, are looking to go back to the brackets. Let's see if they can make it and who they're going to be fighting to get there. So our four sportsmen entering the arena tonight, the number 10 seeds Boom Zoom return. We also see the return of Schnake and Bop, and a debut for Monterey Jack. More on them in just a little bit. Here's a reminder on how the competition works. 4 robots enter into a round robin of matches, each fighting each other once, earning points as they go. The winner of the heat is the robot with the most points at the end of the episode, earning a spot in the round of 16, with second place heading into the play-ins for a last chance to qualify. In the event of a tied heat, a lockdown rumble will decide who moves through. The robots can earn 5 points for a knockout win, 4 for a judge's win, 2 for a judge's loss, and 1 for a knockout loss. So no spinners here, but that doesn't matter because the UK bots know how to put on a brawl without them. Up first, we have Rob Weston with Boom Zoom, the number 10 seed's return. This lifter, nothing runs like a deer, or so says Rob. However, some issues early doors for him might cause an upset here. He is up against the brand new robot Monterey Jack. It's a chainsaw. It's very high in calcium, but they worry about mice. A lot can be said for cheese-related fever dreams. Let's hope that this heat isn't a nightmare for Henry. Our number 10 seeds, Boom Zoom, who managed to have Disaster Strike before the event had even started. They managed to leave all of their front armour at home. Disaster. However, the camaraderie in the pits is second to none as Ari from the Frenzy team, get the right robot, printed out some new fronts for them so that they could run their forks. It's amazing camaraderie. Everybody works together to get some good fights going.
And then destroy each other. It's fantastic. Well, each other's robots anyway.
Yeah. It is, however, bright pink on the yellow and green robot, but, you know, you get what you get, to be fair. They are going up against Cheese. It is Monterey Jack, which is possibly one of the most unique weapons here. It is a chainsaw with a grabber.
Yes. I would make a joke about it, but it'd be too cheesy.
I'm excited to see how this works. I really wanted to chainsaw things and cheese.
Got a heck of a fight here, though, because it is up against Boom Zoom.
2, 1, begin.
Very quick start there from Boom Zoom. Now, Rob is eager to win this tournament. And then Monterey Jack, I think, is already in trouble there. They got stuck, but a good little bit of sportsmanship there from Boom Zoom, getting it out from the sidewall.
I'll tell you what, not only sportsmanship, but it's good aggression as well to free your opponent when they get stuck.
Now, Monterey Jack upside down. It can run both ways up as long as they have that grabber there's all the way back. Good little lift there from Boom Zoom, using good aggression and control in the early stages of this fight. Certainly on top at the moment, not giving Monterey Jack really any room to breathe, if you ask me.
Yeah, and Monterey Jack struggling to drive around the arena. They look a little bit slow. I think something might be catching, I don't know. But they seem to be struggling a little bit. They managed to get a bit of Dukes of Hazzard there over the top of Boom Zoom. Very close to the arena wall. Could have Dukes of Hazzard the way out of the arena.
Yes, I'm just wondering if they're going to try and use the fact that they're upside down to their advantage here and try and use their wedge shape, although I do think Boom Zoom has got the better ground game at the moment.
I think the issue as well is that their chainsaw that is running on top of the robot is now underneath and helping them to drive badly.
Yes, I think it's catching on the arena floor a little bit too much. Now up on its side, can they get down from there? Yes, they can. Now on top of Boom Zoom once again. Boom Zoom certainly on top at the moment. The judges will take note of that. If it does go to the judges, that's yet to be seen.
Boom Zoom trying to get good lifts in here. certainly in control of the battle. Good driving. The pit button has now been pressed,
Going
whether
down.
on purpose or not.
Pit.
Boom
Going
Zoom
down.
getting around, trying to get the good push, and they do. And once again, a fight does not go to the judges.
I'll tell you what, Boom Zoom looking really good this year. Rob could finally grab the gold.
Or the green. It's one of those
Or
two
the
colours.
silver, why not? Add
Oh, no,
them
no,
to his
it's only
collection.
gold and green. They're the only two colours that matter to Rob.
Rob, that has to be one of the most agricultural fights I think I've seen. Like, there's you with Boom Zoom, and obviously Monterey Jack with a chainsaw. I understand this weekend's not been particularly smooth sailing so far. Do you want to tell us about your pink wedges?
Sure. So I sort of pride myself on being really prepared for these kinds of things. I have spares of everything, loads of tools, whatever I need. Today, for the first time, I have forgotten a big bag of spares, including all of my front armors, all of my spare lids, my spare base plates, my spare lifter, everything that I would need for different setups. So someone has very kindly, Ari in fact, printed out some spare fronts for me out of this lovely pink marshmallow material right here. So I'm able to still run those forks, because without that I would have had a wedge, which doesn't even touch the ground.
I mean, in all fairness, that went pretty well. As soon as Monterey Jack was upside down, that chainsaw was probably on the wrong side.
Yeah, I would say so, and that's the way I liked it, because again, I've got no spares for this kind of thing. I really wanted to see what the chainsaw could do, but I didn't want to be the test subject for that. You know, when I've got one set of fronts, and if they're shredded, I'm done, basically. I couldn't risk riding him and having him ruin them, basically. I did want to make a bit more of a fight of it, though, which is why I freed him when he got stuck that time. I started riding him a couple of times when he was having trouble. And I think we made a good scrap of it.
Yeah. You're a good driver, and hopefully, I know the spares issue is right, it can't be avoided, but fingers crossed you can do what you did last year. Hopefully, go a bit further.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
I have every faith in you, Rob. Hello, Henry. A chainsaw. It's a very unique sort of setup here with the grabber. Why a chainsaw?
I just thought I wanted to be a bit interesting, do something no one does. So yeah, chainsaw. They're pretty cheap as well, so it was easy to replace weapons when they do get eventually destroyed.
Now, I know that Rob kind of got you upside down. It's probably the worst position that you could be in to try and get the weapons to work. What do you do in that situation?
So it has the little arms, which should be able to flip it, but having some issues with the servo, not quite enough power, and it skips occasionally. So that happened in that fight. Instead of flipping over, it skipped, and then it got stuck upside down.
I mean, it was a fairly even tussle, I think. Not a lot of damage in there. No. But hopefully, I'd like to see that chainsaw do a bit more damage in the future. It's a very unique setup, like especially with them grabbing arms. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with it.
Yeah, I look forward to trying it out again.
Oh, thank you very much.
Our second match tonight sees two more returning robots, Craig Croucher's Bop. This hammer is angry as all heck, but you would be too if you struggled to play the ground game, or in fact didn't like the ground game so much that you don't play it and won't play it. Schnake, meanwhile, they are going to play it. This grabber has a good control arm. They are looking to grab a hold of the competition and put them wherever they please. They are slow to self-right though. Our second fight of Heat K sees Snake from Ireland take on Bop from Bristol. One of these more international than the other, though the accent maybe.
Yes. Now, the interesting thing about Schnake is it has been completely rebuilt for this tournament, and they are very, very, very proud of their new self-righting mechanism. Not too sure we're going to have to see it in action here, though, as it's going up against the hammer, but hey, it's still pretty cool.
It is very cool. It's a 4-bar grabber is Snake. They can grab hold of opponents. They're going to hope to grab a hold of the face of Bop, who is already just so angry.
Bop's always angry.
Robot ears, stand by.
Bopping mad.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go then. Very fast across the arena is Bop and ramping up Snake.
Trying to bring the hammer in, but flicking itself up and over. That is one problem with hammers this powerful. Sometimes they can be a little bit difficult to control. Schnake trying to bring in that grabber of theirs. There's not really much of Bop to grab, though. It's a very awkward shape because of the slanted sides. So it'll be interesting to see how well Schnake do here against it. with that grabber of theirs. Bop trying to drive around to the sides meanwhile and bringing that hammer on that new self-righting mechanism and doing so there. Go for the pit button. That was a little bit too early.
Pit enabled.
But not anymore. The pit is enabled. That 4-bar grabber, I think they're just trying to line up a good grab, but can't
Going
quite
down.
get there as Bob finds their side again.
Pit going down.
Bop pinning them into the inside wall now, though. Schnake, though, is able to get underneath there. And if they can do that again and get a good push towards the pit, they could send Bop down in a huge upset. Bop nearly getting them down the pit, though.
Yeah, very good driving from Bob, but also good driving from Snake to try and get out of danger, and they do so fantastically well. Bob with another good hit onto the top. But it's very well armoured is Snake, and using that grabber as almost a lifter, trying to flip them up and over, maybe trying to get them out of the arena, we shall see, as Bob gets away again.
Very interesting and very unique tactics there from Schnake. Now Bop bringing the hammer down again. Bop would be a favourite for this one due to Craig's experience. Had Snappy for a very long time. My goodness, that defied the laws of physics. Schnake on the verge. Can they get away from there, or are they done for? They're trying desperately to get away, and that was superb driving.
Bop right there waiting for them, though, and manages to push them down the pit. Great driving from Craig, and some awesome boppage.
And that
Bop,
was
first win of the day.
that was a really good fight.
Okay, we are here with Snake.
That's right, Jack.
And,
It's Michael.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, bit of a bad fight for you, fighting the hammer bot there.
No, it wasn't too bad. I was reasonably pleased with the control I had on the robot. Anytime, however, I tried to put some speed on, it was pulling one way. So I was trying to keep it slow, and I think that was to my detriment in the end, you know?
Yes, Bop is a very nippy robot to try and catch, and if you can't drive in a straight line, it's very awkward to catch them.
I think that was the problem. I could drive slowly in a straight line, but he was gone before I could get him. We managed to pin him for one period all right, and then I trapped myself in the corner behind the pit. And as soon as I got out from it, of course, he just pushed me straight back in. So
Yes, Bop was unfortunately waiting for you there.
he was,
Much like the sister robot Babrog there, it's a very similar construction with the green and the white, but you've got a grabbing arm rather than a lifting arm. per
Yes,
se.
the idea is that you grab over the robot, but he was too high up, so we kept on getting under him rather than over him.
Yeah. Well, good luck in the tournament, and hopefully your future fights will do better for you.
I hope so too. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, if Robot Combat had a mascot, it is purely got to be Bop. 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 Bop.
I don't know, I just got here.
We are into Pokemon speak, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Bop here, traditional hammer robot, looks very similar to a design we might have seen on TV. Have you been inspired by something?
All three of my beta weights have been inspired by my favorite robots, and this is the hardest one of the three to do. So it was the one I did last. And yeah, so beta, John Reed, you know I am a big fan. So yeah, it's my homage.
So Beta is the large hammer robot that's from the American BattleBot series, and you've decided to bring it back in a much smaller scale.
Yeah, you know, it's a fun robot. There's nothing quite as visual as a massive hammer coming over the top and hitting things over and over again. You know, the spinners are great and all, but there's something about this. There's something about it. I love it. Yeah, it's great.
And obviously, you've got the face, the angry face on there. What will make Bop happy?
Nothing.
Not even a win in the tournament?
He doesn't deserve to win.
Oh, the cutest little robot doesn't deserve a win in this tournament? Well, good luck in the rest of the tournament. And we'll hopefully see Bop a lot happier with another win under its belt.
We'll see. We'll see. Thanks, Ty.
Thank you very much.
Well, it was all Bop till you dropped there. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Boom Zoom and Bop top the table with 5 points apiece. Snake and Monterey Jack on 1 each. They're looking for points and answers as we move into our second round of competition. We are heading to the top of the table first of all as Boom Zoom takes on Bop. Despite a lack of spares, Boom Zoom seems to be doing well so far. A first win under their belt must be a bit of a confidence boost for them. That said, however, rumour has it that the Bop team have a little surprise for this match. A setup that nobody has seen up to this point, and there's good reason, because Craig has kept it in a hidden bag somewhere in the building. We don't know why, we don't know where. All we know is it's heading down to the arena right about now. So in this battle, we have two robots that you've seen before. but one of them does not look how it used to. We've got Boom Zoom, the lifter robot, currently sitting on 1 win. And we have Big Wheel Bop. Big Wheel Bop is Bop, but with big wheels. We did say earlier on that Craig is against fork game. This is how against it that he is. Like, so aggressively against... Oh dear, a mini-bot has been thrown in at the last second. Yeah, so aggressively against the ground game that he's going to play the ground game with a mini-bot instead.
Why not?
If it works, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to say, this is the most cursed setup for Bop, but I kind of like it.
Yes.
It is a monster. That is why I like it, actually.
Yeah, I'm warming up to it because of that.
Can I become a judge just to have sway over this fight because it's a monster
Robot
truck?
is.
Yeah, I think so,
Stand
yeah.
by. 3, 2, 1. Begin.
I really want to do this in monster truck fashion now, so we're looking for great air, some wow moments, huge saves,
Nice
a backflip perhaps.
Nice bit of freestyle, don't forget as well there,
Yeah.
Jevon. Boom Zoom, meanwhile, getting that lifter underneath Bop. Bop trying to bring the hammer down. It did run over its own mini-bot a moment ago, so it definitely had some monster truck style there.
It's just crawling over Boom Zoom. This might be an amazing strategy against Boom Zoom, who, I'll be honest, is probably wondering what on earth it's fighting.
Yes, definitely so. I think it's actually a good strategy as well, in order that you can be aggressive but also get yourself out of danger very quickly. Oh, what a flick there on the mini-bot by Boom Zoom.
That was incredible. Bop
Fantastic
coming in
stuff.
now, getting a hit in on the internal of the lifter. It was so quick you may not have seen it, but it managed to get a hit in inside the lifter mechanism. Now that will worry Rob a little bit when he's driving Boom Zoom around, because that's where all the juicy bits are.
Boom Zoom's having more fun with the mini-bot here. Now finally going for an attack on the actual opponent is meant to be attacking. Bop driving around, very nippy around the arena. We'll have to worry about the pit a little bit. Then again, Rob is also known for throwing himself into the abyss.
No,
and
dear.
talking of which,
Well,
Ray goes and does it again.
I feel as though that was inevitable, but it was certainly entertaining, and that's what I'm here for.
Okay, we are here once again with Monster Bop. Craig, what have you done?
I don't like the ground game very much. I don't like forks, so I decided what better way to play the ground game than to not.
You're not playing the ground game by trying to forcibly remove yourself from the ground.
Exactly that. And it worked. That bit worked.
It worked until there was a giant hole in the floor that you drove yourself into.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit faster with all this big wheel stuff. But also, I lost left and right. One of the wires has come unsoldered. That's my fault. It's fine.
So you had forward and backwards on Monster Bop.
Yeah, that's why at the end of the fight, I was kind of just pinballing between the walls. Just like, let's have some fun with it.
Well, okay, Bop originally started as a homage to Beta. What is it a homage to now? Bigfoot?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Somebody put it out of its misery already.
You have created a monster. Be gone with you.
I'm so sorry.
We are here with our resident tractor driver, Boom Zoom. Who are indeed. You got a bit of pink eye on this one, though.
Yeah, so I'm a marshmallow farmer now, it turns out. As I said earlier, I forgot all my front bits at home, so Ari has very kindly printed me a new set, so I have something to run today. Otherwise, it will be no forks, no nothing, basically. Yeah.
So how critical were your forks in this match against Monster Bop?
I think they were great decoration. The lifter forks still probably did something because they were getting a few lifts at points variously. But yeah, those big wheels were a surprise to me. Craig's been keeping that under wraps, literally in a bag, for the past couple of hours. I've not been able to get a look at it until now. So my first inkling I was fighting that and fighting Tweedy with a mini-bot was when I walked up to the arena with it, basically. So that was a nasty shock.
You spent most of that match, though, fighting the mini-bot, while Bop just casually bounced itself around every wall in the arena.
Bop was having a great time on its own. I didn't see the need to harsh its vibe, really. The mini-bot, though, that thing it needed to get airborne, and I was happy I was able to do that.
So, how has your tournament progress been? Are you happy with how it's gone, or are you disappointed? Could there be any improvement, or are you just fine?
Given how, again, I've forgotten a lot of my parts, it's been really touch and go. I've not been, I've had to temper my sort of expectations, but it's gone well so far. My drive was locking up in that last fight right at the end there, but I think I know why that was happening. It was just something that was too tight when it shouldn't have been. But yeah, one more, and we'll see how it goes.
One more indeed, and we hope to see you later on in the tournament. Thank you very much.
The monster trucks have stopped. Monterey Jack returns to the arena. Henry Meadows' chainsaw didn't really get into play and managed to find the underside of the side wall in their first match. They got freed, but to no avail really. They are hoping to get it in against Snake here. In any other circles, hearing that we're about to see Snake being chainsawed would be an awful sight. However, this is robot combat. Anything goes. Good luck to both teams.
Okay, loaded into the box for our next battle. We have in the red square Monterey Jack, the grabber chainsaw robot, very unique. And over in the blue square we have Snake, the world's only 6-bar grabber.
Yeah, two very uniquely designed machines here. Monterey Jack's is especially interesting in that it's got a
Robot
chainsaw
is
that
stand
snags
by.
robots and pulls them up the wedge into the grabber.
Very cool design.
3,
We shall see if it works here
2,
against Snake.
1. Begin.
Here we go then. Snake has the front forks, but that hasn't really helped them out as they go straight up that front wedge of Monterey Jack, who had a grab for almost a whole second there before letting them go.
And now Monterey Jack's managed to get his wedge stuck under the side wall. Those side walls are a danger zone for low grounded forks and wedges. Good bit of sportsmanship there by Schnake. And now grabbing a hold of Monterey Jack, trying to get a bite out of the cheese wedge.
They did manage to get a grab there. What flavour do you reckon is Monterey Jack?
Well, it's probably
Enabled.
Monterey Jack cheese, to be fair. It's got to be at least a nice cheddar.
It could well be.
You
A
cheddar
lovely
believe it.
grab there. The chainsaw managed to pull him up onto the wedge once again, getting control of Snake. But now running up the front wedge themselves.
This is definitely a battle of control and aggression rather than, I guess you could say, damaging weapons at least. Although Snake somehow getting to flip Monterey Jack onto its side, using that new self-riding mechanism of theirs to do so. Can Monterey Jack get back down from there? They flip themselves over now.
Pivoted onto the wrong side, and we saw earlier that they struggled to drive on this side. But they have managed to get a
Going
good pin
down.
on Snake, but I think they might have got themselves
Going
stuck
down.
under the arena button in the process.
Fight paused.
Now this is going to be an interesting one. We will unstick the robots. But I
Yeah.
think that's going to mean that Snake is taken off of Monterey Jack, and they will have to be reset back to their starting corners. So Monterey Jack really has been saved from danger here.
Yes, definitely so. Although it is still upside down, and therefore the chainsaw chain may still impede on its driving potential.
Yeah, it's going to be ineffective when it is turned back upright. So the fight will resume, now back in their own squares. Monterey Jack will be left upside down, as that is how it ended when the unstick occurred.
We'll definitely see if that chainsaw chain will continue to be an issue for them. And when we continue this fight with 40 seconds left on the clock.
Robot is stand by. 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Here we go then, the tactical battle continues. Snake seems a little bit sluggish now. I don't know if it's particularly happy or if it was just trying to find a good position, but it is trying to get a good grab in here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. The drive definitely seems to be sluggish. Monterey Jack, meanwhile, the chainsaw chain isn't being as much of a hindrance as it was earlier on. Although it is on its side. A little flick there from Schnake. Can Monterey Jack bring itself back? Yes, it can. It has now righted back to its original side.
With a little bit of help from
With
Snake,
with
you
a
have
bit
to
of help,
think.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely so. But now
There
they can
isn't
bring
long
that
left.
chainsaw back into it, but there isn't
7,
long left of this fight.
6,
So we're interested to see if they can capitalise
4,
on it in enough time.
3.
I did, however, see the
1.
chainsaw get into play there. A little scuff on the bottom as plastic was removed. Worth a look, I think,
Yes,
as
definitely
it goes
so.
over to the judges. So our judges, once again, here are Ryan Bratley, Sam Gadd, and Andrew Marchant. They will be judging on 3 criteria: weapon effectiveness, control, and aggression. Once all 3 have reached a decision, they will announce who the winner is.
We, the judges, have made our decision. It was a unanimous decision in favour of Schnake.
Well, with those all-important points heading to the table, we can see that Boom Zoom tops with 10, Bop in second with 6, Snake with 5 in third, and Monterey Jack with 3 down the bottom of the table. But this is shaping up to be a close heat. Boom Zoom running away with it so far. Will that continue? We shall find out in our next match, as Boom Zoom is back in the arena there to take on Snake. Two robots who won their fights in the last round. Can they keep the momentum going? For one of them they can. The other, they're going to take the hard loss that follows a win. It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow, but who is going to get that all-important win? Could it be Boom Zoom going perfect in the heat, getting a judge's decision, or some other thing that happens in the arena? Let's find out.
Okay, we have Snake in the red square, Boom Zoom in the blue, this for a place in the round of 16.
2, 1, begin.
Boom Zoom was quick across the arena, but then sort of slowed down. Good self-righting from Snake to get down from the arena wall.
Yeah, Boom Zoom, I think, were just trying to just keep themselves back a little bit and try and wait for an advantage, and they definitely took advantage of that advantage. Now, though, trying to catch up to Snake, really. Does so there, getting another good little flick in, and another one there as well. Nearly flicked it up and over. I'm really interested to see that remake of Snake's work again. It is something they're very, very proud of, and there it is! Excellent stuff.
Really good action from Snake. The pit is enabled, and the button pressed.
Going
now,
Boom Zoom now has Snake against him in the side wall,
and he delivers him. A lovely Uta there from Boom Zoom. Carries Snake up, over, and out.
Here we are with the Battenberg Boom Zoom once again. Very convincing win against Snake.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it's very rare I can get the out of the arena. It's not very easy with a lifter. I think it's only the second one I've ever managed. But I saw the opportunity, I just couldn't resist, honestly.
Despite being a mere lifter, you've got some actual heft to that lifter itself. What's the secret in there?
A servo that you can't buy anymore. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's a 65 kilo Demon servo. If you can find one on eBay or anything, they're really good. They run directly on 4S. That one's done dozens of fights, and it's been absolutely perfect. Yeah.
And coupled with that as well, a very good drivetrain. You've switched to brushless this year, I believe?
That's right, yeah. First year on brushless. It's done a couple of events now, and I've been very happy with the results. Repeat maxes. I just wanted something bulletproof, really, because I kept having brush motors die on me. But these ones have been so solid since I switched over, and plenty of beans to boot.
Well, so far it's doing pretty stellar performance. You're undefeated in the heats once again. How does that make you feel?
Surprised. Again, I didn't bring any spares for a lot of my stuff today. So just the fact that I made it this far is a win, and yeah, anything after this is a bonus, really.
Well, I wish you all the very best of luck. Maybe you might get that final W. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
Our final fight of tonight sees Bop return to the arena, de-big-wheeled, sad times indeed, and up against a block of cheese. Again, any other place on Earth, this sounds like a really weird scenario, but this is robot combat, and as I said, anything goes. The chainsaw, they look to get that into play. Bop, they look to hammer the heck out of Monterey Jack. Let's see what happens when these two enter the arena.
For Heat K's final fights, we have Bop going up against Monterey Jack. It's cheese versus anger.
Who often wins in a fight of cheese versus anger?
Well, we're about to find out, to be fair. This is a new setup for Monterey Jack. Gone is the big front wedge. They've gone for two smaller little wedges. Either that or someone's taken a bite out of the cheese.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Here comes Bop. Gone are the big wheels, and they are here to bring down the hammer hits, and bring them down they are in between the wedges, hitting the floor.
Yeah, didn't quite get the shot there, or there, to be honest, or there. There we go, they landed the hit that time, but that was good driving there by Monterey Jack. Look there as
white
well.
dust being poured out of the robot. The chainsaw causing damage to the underside of Bop.
I tell you what, it's a unique weapon. It may not seem the most couth of weapons, but it's an interesting one nonetheless. And look there again, bits and pieces flying out from the underside.
Enabled.
The pit button has been pressed, and if they can get underneath Bop like that again, we could be seeing an upset here. Monterey Jack now moving around. Pit is
Going
lowering.
down.
Can Monterey Jack
Pit
take advantage of that
going
now?
down.
Bob will have to worry about that, bringing the hammer down onto that chainsaw, but
Some
Monterey Jack
good-
bringing the chainsaw in once again. Good control and aggression as well there by Monterey Jack.
Bob managed to bring down the hammer hits, but every time it does, it lifts its front very slightly. And on a wedge bot like Monterey Jack, it's just lifting itself higher onto the weaponry. And once again, Monterey Jack right underneath Bob, cutting into that underplate.
I'll tell you what, that underplated Bop is going to look very, very sore by the end of this battle, but the hammer blows are still coming down and giving Monterey Jack one hell of a headache here.
I'll tell you what, I now understand why Bob looks so angry. It makes a lot more sense when you've been attacked with a chainsaw from underneath.
Especially one embedded into a cheese wedge of all places.
Yeah, it's a very strange
dear.
design, a very strange thought process, but I'm here for it. It's very fun.
It also makes a very horrifying, grotty sound as well, which in robot combat terms is wonderful.
Love the word grotty. the fight continues. Bob is jockeying for position here.
Nice.
We're very close to the end of the fight. Can anybody get somebody else down, or will it go to the judges?
4, 3,
I thought for a minute there Bob was going to
One.
take a dive down the pit itself, and one last shot from Bob onto Monterey
Lovely
Jack ends
lasting
the fight.
impression. Now that is going to the judges, and I believe the judges will want to see the robots, mainly to be nosy at what damage was caused to the underside of Bob, but also because weapon effectiveness. How effective was the weapon of Monterey Jack?
Exactly. Just because it did some damage doesn't mean it was an overly effective weapon. They need to check these things.
The judges have made a decision in that fight. It is a unanimous decision, and it has gone in favour of Monterey Jack.
Guys, that was a very good fight, actually. We actually saw the chainsaw actually grab hold of something. Do you want to speak first?
Yeah, so I was quite happy with that. I managed to get under and pin him to the wall and do a bit of grinding against the bottom. I don't think there's actually any permanent damage to Bot, but it was fun to watch and it was definitely fun to do.
I've noticed you've changed the setup since the last match. What's the reasoning behind the two forks rather than the solid plough?
So with I figured with the space in the middle, the way Bop is designed, if it falls down in the middle, I can get a bit more engagement with the chainsaw. But I just wanted to try it because I brought it along. I might as well try it out.
It was a good result. And again, the lift, the grabber format seems to work quite well on, especially on the shape of your robot there, Craig. How did you feel that went?
Yeah, kind of as expected in a way. Four-key control robot got me against the wall and gave a good grinding on the bottom. It was tasty.
Do you like that?
We'll talk about it later, Jimmy.
I mean, these two are pretty unique looking out of the batch. Like, I love the colour and the display that you've both done this weekend. And I'm very impressed with that fight. It was a very good one. I couldn't have called it.
I could have.
But well, I'm glad you could have. Well, you've been around for much longer, so. But yeah, commiserations, Craig. Well done. We look forward to seeing what happens next.
Two judges' decisions tonight mean that the points are all over the place, but they look like this. Boom Zoom, of course, a perfect heat with 15 points, 3 knockouts to their name. Despite the loss in that last fight, Bop comes second with 8 and they move into the play-ins. For Monterey Jack and Snake, it's better luck next time, but we have thoroughly enjoyed having all 4 of these robots in the arena. And just like that, only 1 heat to go until the bracket. That's all for this time from Anderson Hill, Jimmy Cottam and Ty Daly. I've been Jevon Woodrow. Good night.